So, when did I need to make a change in my life? When did I know I needed to make a change in my life? When I got comfortable. I think about the phoenix bird, the bird that represents life after death. And that pretty much was my life. I did a lot in with my life when it pertains to fitness. I used to train, years ago I did bodybuilding with men's physique, and I gave it my all. I had a few victories. People knew me in the gym. It was a lot of stuff that was, and I poured into people when it came down to how to push past plateaus in life, and how to break chains mentally, and how to give it your all in the gym. And I gave it my all in the gym in the past. But having said that, in spite of the victories I won, I had a great support system. I hit a wall, and I knew I needed to make it. I knew that this was something I felt before, but it just became greater for some reason this year. And this year was one of the hardest years I have had in a long time. So I knew that even though I did like men's physique years ago, going into normal life, you kind of looking for the new challenge. And those challenges didn't come to me year after year. They didn't come. And I was kind of like going downhill. My body showed. I ate what I wanted to eat. I worked out every now and then. I didn't put any pressure on, keeping myself to the standard that I thought I should keep myself. And I was really hard on myself in the past. But I got complacent. And I knew that this was something a little bit different than before. And I didn't know how to get out of that rut. I didn't know when the next challenge was going to be. I knew I needed something fresh. I need something to sink my teeth into. But I didn't know where it was coming from, honestly. And I was just going downhill. I was just mentally, emotionally, I was going downwards. And if anybody knows anything about, if you're into bodybuilding or men's physique or, any kind of fitness category, you know that postpartum depression is a thing. And if you're not high, a lot of times those lows be low. And I was low. I was really, really low. And I just didn't have the foresight to look forward to anything coming down the pipe anytime soon. So I was the phoenix bird in the making, but I didn't know that at the time. I heard about Prestige through Jay Randall. He's the owner of 901 Fitness in Memphis, Tennessee, in the Raleigh area. And he's always, pushing for people to stay fit and motivated. And he always speaks. Really, really cool guy. And I've been knowing him for years. But he knew that I was a positive person, and I was hardcore into motivation for people in general. But I think he knew I needed a challenge, and he was like, "Hey, Art, you ought to try this competition, Lean by Halloween, by Prestige Labs. I'm an advocate for them." And I was like, okay, I'm interested, because at the time I didn't have anything going on. Like I said, I was going downwards. He didn't know it, but because I kept coming to the gym, but I wasn't really actively doing anything. And he was like, "Yeah, you ought to give it a shot. It may be something that you will be really interested in doing. I think you'll do well in it." So it piqued my interest, and I was like, okay. And he told me, the ins and outs of that, how to log in, the meetings. And I was a little skeptical at first, because I was like, okay, what is this really? Like, is this, are you pushing for me to buy something? Or is it, something that I can rely on? But I really didn't know. But I didn't have anything to lose at the time. So I was like, sure, I trust you. I mean, he's a good guy. Jay's awesome guy. So I just said, what the heck, might as well just see what happens. And that's what got me moving this ball towards the goal. At the beginning of this whole competition, I weighed 193. And my new weight now, as I stand, is 173 pounds, which is great. I feel good. I feel like I look a lot better than I did a while back, weeks ago. And it was because of Prestige Labs. So that was definitely a plus. The one person in particular that inspired me to do this challenge, my biggest inspiration, has to be my wife. My wife, oh my God, she is a blessing. That's not even the right word I could use. It's a lot of things I didn't have in me before she came into my life. And she has always been an inspiration and always been my number one, I don't want to say fan, but just like my number one partner in the world. She knows when I'm looking for the next challenge. She knows when I'm hard on myself. She knows when I need to eat. She knows I have attitudes about my nutrition. So she's been with me for years. So she has to be my number one inspiration for this whole thing. I would not have made it through mentally or emotionally without my wife, Keisha Covington. I've used a lot of products in the past. I personally used a lot of products in the past before supplements, but I have to say this was the first time. I never heard of Prestige Labs before now, never, not once. And I have looked thoroughly in the past for something to dig into as far as supplementation. My why for doing this competition has to again go back to my wife. For one, before I go into that, I have a couple of things that I needed a new adventure. I love competing against myself when it comes down to fitness. So my why was to gain a new love for competing against myself and for a new adventure in life, because I just didn't have it. Like I stated before, I didn't know what to pull from with an adventure for physical fitness and transformation. And to gain a ground financially is another main reason why I shot for this competition. Once I realized that it wasn't just something that you can just do for yourself, because again, in physical fitness or bodybuilding, you know that's one of the more selfish sports ever. So my wife had to deal with those kind of put to the side moments where date night had to wait, where going out to eat together had to be pretty much narrowed down to practically nothing. So for me, I wanted to do this because financially I feel like it would just benefit us. Medical bills are a thing for us. Bills, regular bills are a thing. We are a one-income household, and our marriage has suffered tremendously from financial burden. And my wife, she tries her best. She does what she can. But I feel like this win financially will put us right where we can regain and enjoy our marriage again. Because throughout the years, we have been personally, emotionally going through a lot, and physically, she has been going through a lot. And as a husband, I find my hands tied sometimes because financially, I can only do so much. As a single income household, we try to do our best, and she puts her best foot forward as well where she can. But it's been rough. It's been rough, and we've been roughing it out for many years. So I think that the financial support for us will do way more than just feeling good about the win. I think it's more of a health reason why the money is the goal for me to, outside of looking great and feeling great, I really want my wife to benefit from this win as well, because this is a us thing, this is a team, and she deserves it. She's been through enough, and she's still going through, but she's a tough cookie, and I just want to be a blessing to our family this way. Of the Prestige Labs supplements that I have tried, I have to say this Prestige Heat, this right here, Prestige Heat, the fat burner, oh my God, it is awesome. And I've taken fat burners before, but I kid you not, this is one of the best. I feel no jitters. It's easy to take first thing in the morning. 3 pills, take them down, and get on by your day. I feel and I know and I notice the difference once I started taking these. Like within the first 3 weeks, I was like, what? And it's just like I get excited because I know this is not a put on. I promise you, I'm not even trying to sell this. It actually works, y'all. Like for real. Like this is a real. I have tested a lot of fat burners, but Prestige Heat definitely, no cap, it is the best. Like for real, for real. If you never tried a fat burner before, if you try this, it's gonna be hard for other people to change your mind on anything else, because this actually does work. And it's awesome. Yeah, Prestige Heat, love it, love it. I have to get some more because I'm running low, but hands down, best fat burner ever. Not just because of this competition, but best fat burner ever. Also, the sleep multiplier. I don't have it with me, but the sleep multiplier, the rest is ridiculous. I don't get up groggy. I get up full of energy. I actually get up ready to work. I actually get up ready to do that cardio, surprisingly. It's a sleep aid, but it just gives you energy. It gets you going, and it gets you going early. Like when you get up, for me personally, when I get up after I take the sleep multiplier by Prestige Labs, I don't get up dreading the alarm clock. I literally get up and hop out of bed, literally. I'm not even joking. It's kind of crazy because I'm like, I shouldn't be feeling this excited to get out of bed. I normally hit the snooze button quite a few times first. But anyway, yeah, I like those two. Those two things, this and the sleep multiplier, are the best things ever. The thing I'm most proud of throughout this whole process is actually sticking to my diet. I think that because of the challenge, it gave me more accountability, and that's another thing that comes with competition. I know this, but the accountability is definitely real, especially when you send those photos in. So I'm most proud of finishing and sticking to the diet that I had going for me, because it was really, really hard. My wife was out at festivals. We were walking together. I had to walk past food vendors. She was eating corn dogs and, you know, enjoying life, and I just had to smile and say, I love you, baby, but I want to just take the corn dog and throw it away because I couldn't have it. So for me personally, it was sticking to the diet. I'm very, very proud that I stuck it through. I did not cheat. Man, it was just hard. So I'm really, really proud of it, for real. Again, I wasn't really nervous to start this competition because I have been in situations where that was part of the thing. You had to compete against people. with your body, with your temple. So for me, I wasn't necessarily nervous, but very anxious because I didn't have anything going for me at the time. I was ready to see something new. I was ready for a new adventure. And as a matter of fact, I think I went grocery shopping immediately after I told Jay, yes, I want to do this. In the first meeting online with Prestige Labs, once we got our meal plans and an idea of what class we fall under, I went immediately to the grocery store and I just racked up on stuff. I was so ready. I was ready, and I put my best foot forward. And I was a little bit of reserve because my body is resilient to supplementation. That's why I said I went through a lot of supplements just to try to find the right one for me. Fat burners did not sit well with me. Some protein shakes did not sit well with me. But I was a little bit, I didn't know how Prestige, again, I never heard of Prestige Labs before now. So I was a little bit iffy on how my body would respond to Prestige Labs. However, I'm very, very surprised. Like, this is gonna be my go-to as long as possible. I promise you, it's so worth it. But yeah, I must say my first win during this competition was after the first 3 weeks. My second group of photos, my 3-week photos, I was blown away. I sent it to my brother-in-law. I said, dude, for some reason these supplements and the diet that it was suggested is actually working. Like, this is ridiculous of how quick things happen. So my first win had to have been the photos of after the first 3 weeks. I was blown away. I knew I was winning when I saw my midsection. During that photo session, my midsection was like, okay, this is real. Yep, this is real. So that was my first win. I have to say a non-scale victory for me during this challenge. It had to have been I gained a lot more confidence. I think the confidence booster, once I saw those photos, the first few weeks afterwards, I was like, my confidence was like, I don't know where this is getting ready to go, but it has to be good. So definitely I gained a lot more confidence and a sense of accomplishment during the challenge. Especially as a fitness enthusiast or athlete, a lot of times we're driven by like physical challenges, and we're driven by, transformations, and then we're driven by, pushing against adversity, and we desire new adventures like seasonally. So the journey was one that reminded me that I can definitely do what I put my mind to once the challenges become real. And yeah, they became real. I had a lot of hard days, but for sure, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. So yeah. If someone was on the fence about trying Prestige Labs, the advice I would give them would be, don't even, just try it. A lot of things you would probably put your money to would be a lot of waste, but and a waste of time. However, look at the reviews, Google them. If you're skeptical on anything they got going on, you don't even have to take their word for it. I would start with a fat burner if your thing is trying to lose weight, and just see how the thing Prestige Heat responds to you. But overall, I would just say just try it. What do you have to lose? If you have the money for it, and if you just want to try something that is certain, that is trusted, that people don't mind giving testimonials about. And a lot of these things, I know marketing is a thing and people are skeptical, and you do got sharks out there. I totally get that. However, I'm a real person. Coming from a real person that's not getting paid to do this, I have to tell you, it is, and I've seen a lot, a lot of things, and I tried a lot of things. Prestige Labs is something worth trying. At least try it. If you desire a supplement company that will give you the best for your buck, that will take your workouts to another level, and you just need something new that athletes are swearing by right now, just try it. That's all I can really tell you. Just try it. I guarantee you'll probably surprise yourself. With the right nutrition, with the right plan, Prestige Labs can just put icing on the cake. Again, my story, what's unique about my story? God just got his hands on me and my family. I think I'm not better than anyone else. I seek after the things that a lot of us seek for. My story is pretty simple. It is unique, but it's pretty simple, but respectfully unique. I am 42. I'm a 42-year-old God-fearing man who loves his wife of 11 years. My wife and I are the owners of 4 American bullies, dogs that I love to death. My wife and I both love to death. And, we can't have children. My wife and I cannot have children. We lost 5 through miscarriages. And she cannot have, medically so, she has had to have surgery for life-saving reasons, to a point where she cannot have children. So children naturally is not in our future. My wife also deals with, like I said, PTSD, anxiety, hypertension, but she continues to keep her faith. She's a fighter daily, but every day is a guessing game. Every day is a guessing game of how she will feel, and how the day will go, and what will spike her anxiety, what medications would be the best to choose today to take based off of the activities of the day. So every day is a challenge. So I do this competition because our life, especially considering the challenges and hurdles that we are facing day to day, is a real thing. So I do this in honor of our children that we've lost. I do this in honor of my wife, who's a hero to me. She's a hero to me, and she's my best friend. And I do this to tell myself, you know what? In spite of what you're going through, you may have a lot of pressures of the world on your shoulders, but you still got that dog in you, and you still got the ability to push past all the distractions of the world, all the distractions even in your house, to get a job done based off of the drive that your family gives you, the support your family and your wife gives you, and the desire to take your family out of a bad situation and put them into a better situation. You have it in you. You have what it takes. And I think that that's why I did this whole thing. This whole thing was just centered around just making sure that my family gets a jump start to a better life, and to show myself that I can do what I love doing, in spite of the age, in spite of what I may feel in my body, even in spite of how people don't respond to you anymore. And when the phone stops ringing, you can still do this. So that's the why. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, my health and fitness before starting this was a 5, or a 6. I would say a 6, because I was still working out, but I just didn't have the motivation to pursue better. After the competition, I got a second win. I think my fitness and my health have boosted up to a 9, honestly. I feel like a 9. And I only say 9 because there's always room for improvement. You can never be so great that you can't improve something for yourself. So, yeah. Man, the weekly raffles, the contest throughout the whole process was great. It was a reminder that, hey, you're surrounded by people that want this thing just as bad as you do, and it just felt good to be around like-minded people, and it just felt good to be rewarded along the way. Even though I didn't win anything, I don't think. If I did, y'all let me know, because I don't think I won nothing. But in spite of that, man, the weekly raffles and the contests in between, it just kept things fresh, and I liked it. I really, really did. It just reminded me, hey, man, you're not in this thing by yourself, and then you're going to be rewarded if you choose to along the way. So it's not all about, just going up against people. We are family. Okay, so my final thoughts with this whole thing. I've been in fitness for 2 decades. Fitness meaning I just love lifting weights from dumbbell, my first time picking up a dumbbell, to now. And when you've seen the things I've seen, and when you have, when it comes to your body going through ups and downs and transformations and the good and bad, the transformations good and the transformations bad, it's easy to wonder if you will ever feel alive again. Especially after 40. After 40 years old, it's easy to get discouraged and be like, this is not for me anymore. I'm done. Let me just grow old. And some things are emotional. They become emotional blocks. They become mental blocks. Like they were for myself. But I love fitness. And even though I did succumb to some insecurities and some things that weren't the best for me mentally, I just wanted to feel alive again. And feeling alive again didn't seem like it was going to come down no time soon for myself. But this challenge gave me that. It made me feel alive again. I feel like I have something fresh. I love how I feel. I reinvented myself. My wife is encouraged to adapt certain lifestyles now. And I got lifestyle changes as well. And I can actually breathe again. Sorry. This has been a challenge for myself, but I promise you this was one of the best opportunities that I had in a long time, and this is going to go a long way for me in my future. And I just really want to appreciate Prestige Labs for offering this to a group of gym rats, everyday people, and people that were just hungry for a change in their life. I really, really enjoyed it. Hopefully this is not the last time that you guys see me. I would love to work for you guys. But yeah, this was great. This was an awesome experience. Thank you so much, Prestige Labs, for everything you have done. I love what you stand for. Peace.